So, good evening, everyone, and I'm so glad you have joined me today for the session on cultivating growth through service-driven leadership. Think about it, no? The best leaders we admire are those who lift others, who put people before profits, and yet, in doing so, they achieve sustainable growth. Before we begin, let me ask you a question. When you think of a great leader, what qualities come into your mind? Most of us think words like strong, visionary, decisive, but let me share something interesting. The great leaders are often remembered not for the power they held, but for the service they gave. Today, we are going to explore this powerful idea how serving others can actually be the most effective path to sustainable growth. And to make this very real, we shall dive into case studies from one of the most respected and admired business houses in the world, the Tata Group. By the end of this session, you will not only understand what service driven leadership is, but also learn how you can apply these principles in your own life, whether you are leading a team, running a business, or simply leading yourself. So let's understand what the servants driven leadership means. To start with a simple definition, service driven leadership is the philosophy of putting the needs of others, employees, customers, and communities above your own. Instead of asking, how can people serve me? The leader asks, how can I serve them so that they can thrive? It's about empathy, seeing the world from others' perspective, being approachable and grounded, humility, empowerment, you letting the other, enabling others also to shine, and having a long-term vision, choosing sustainability over short-term wins. This isn't it soft leadership, it's smart leadership. When people feel valued and cared for, they give their best. Now, I want you to think of a leader you admire. Chances are the reason you admire them is because they gave more than they took. And that's the essence of service. Now, let's go through about the Tata philosophy of service. Now, why the Tata Group? Because for over 150 years, this group has proven that service and growth are not opposites, they are partners. Jamsetji Tata, the founder, once said, in a free enterprise, the community is not just another stakeholder in business, but it is in fact the very purpose of its existence. This is a radical idea. For most businesses, community is something you give back to after profits. For Tata, community is why they exist in the first place. That's the mindset has shaped everything group has done. Steel, automobiles, IT, education, healthcare, hospitality, you name it. So let's break this down through three powerful case studies. Now, first it is, Tata Steel, serving employees first. Let's start with Tata Steel, which was established in 1907. Here's the interesting part. Tata Steel introduced employee benefits before they were mandated by law in India. A couple of examples to quote is the 8-hour workday when 12 to 14 hours were normal. Maternity leave benefits for women employees decades before the law required it, accident compensation and free medical aid when workers were injured, retirement benefits and pensions in an era where workers were often left on their own after service. Now, let's give it a pause here. Why would a company do this voluntarily? Because Tata leaders believe that employees are not just labor, they are human beings with families, dreams, and dignity. And the result? Employees develop fierce loyalty. Tata Steel became known as places to work. Productivity increased because people gave their best to a company that cared. This is a service driven leadership. When you take care of people, they take care of the business. Let's take another case study, Tata and community development. When service driven leadership doesn't stop at employees, it extends to communities. Did you know that over 66% of Tata Sons' equity is held by philanthropist trust? These are the Tata Trust, and the majority of Tata Group's profits are channeled into nation building activities. What does this mean in real life? Let's take healthcare. The Tata Memorial Hospital in Mumbai provides world class cancer treatment with many services subsidized for those who can't afford them. When you take up education sector, the Tata Institute of Social Sciences and Tata Institute of Fundamental Research continue to shape India's intellectual capital. If you take up rural development, Tata Water Mission has delivered safe drinking water solutions to villages that had none. Last but not the least, disaster relief. From earthquakes to floods, Tata companies and trusts are often the first responders. Let me share a small story here. During the 2008 Bihar floods, Tata provided boats, relief materials, and rehabilitation. Villagers later said that we shall always buy Tata products because Tata stood with us when nobody else did. That's brand loyalty, created not by advertisements, by service. Nation on Tata leadership is complete without Ratan Tata. When he took over in 1991, many left. Many felt he was too soft to lead such a giant. But his philosophy was rooted in service. Let's look at few moments. The Nano project. Ratan Tata wanted every Indian family to have safe, affordable transport. The Nano car, which was priced at 1 lakh, was his dream for the middle class. It wasn't just about margins, it was about serving the society. And the 2611 Mumbai attacks. After the terrorist attack on the Taj Hotel, Tata Group didn't just rebuild the hotel. They reached out personally to the families of every employee who got affected. Compensation was generous. Jobs were offered to dependents, and the medical bills were covered. Ratan Tata himself visited hospitals and homes quietly without media publicity. Last but not the least, the personal integrity. Even after retirement, Ratan Tata continues to mentor startups not for personal gain, but to help young entrepreneurs succeed. These reflections reflect, or these actions reflect service driven leadership at the highest level. And the growth under Ratan Tata, Tata revenues grew over 40 times, and international recognition of the brand skyrocketed. So again, service doesn't limit to growth, it multiplies it. What can we learn and apply from Tata's service driven leadership? Here are the four takeaways. Put people first, whether it's your employees, family, or community. Start by asking, how can I make their lives better? And second, leading by example. Show them how to serve. example. Don't just talk about values, demonstrate them through actions. Third, think long term. Service driven leaders invest in legacies, but not in quick wins. And integrating service into business. Don't treat it as charity, make it part of your core identity. If the Tata Group embedded service in every business decision for 150 years, imagine what we can do in our own roles. Before I go forward, I just have a quick question. Whoever is watching this right now, or whoever is watching this later, think of, if you're owning a business or if you're owning a brand, how would you want to take that forward? By giving what kind of customer experience or an audience experience, because I call every training session is an experience to be experienced. It's not just a training session, but it's a way of telling stories. It's a way of telling stories. Shabana, ma'am, would you like to say something or share something?
I totally
Sadly, no one joined.
uh, uh, I don't have story, but I totally agree with you. Like, the whole idea of, the service driven. I think if you have the feeling of service, then it not only gives meaning to what you do, but also, you can enjoy the whole process a lot more. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. See, it's when I say about service-driven leadership, it's not just about you doing something for someone else, but what is the value, what is the belief do we carry to with ourselves at the end of the day? Or if as a brand, what is the value which you want to project in your brand or in your organization? Let it be from you or let it be with the employees or let it be the workers who are working in that organization. What kind of values or what kind of things you want to indulge yourself in? Before I share some pointers or action steps as to how we can do this on a daily basis, but I want to leave you all with this thought. Leadership is not about how many people serve you. Leadership is about how many people you serve. The Tata story proves that when leaders serve, employees feel loyal, communities feel supported, customers feel the trust. And in turn, growth happens naturally, powerfully, and sustainably. So, my challenge for you is this: starting tomorrow, ask yourself, who can I serve today? It could be as simple as mentoring a colleague, supporting your team, or volunteering in community. Because when you serve, you truly lead. So, which Tata leadership story inspired you the most? I would like to share it. Whoever is watching this later on the comments below. And what is the kind of value system which you want to carry? And what is the kind of how are we gonna go, serve for the community or for the others or whomever we are going to meet in that particular day. Starting tomorrow, this is what I want to ask yourself is who can I serve today? Because leadership is not just about titles. Leadership is not just about having that name tags or tags be beside your name, but it's not about the height, it's not about the age, it's not about anything else, but you should take action for those who's in charge with you. It's not about you making or you waiting for the other person to take the action. That's not the idea here. Shabana ma'am, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So yeah, service can
Okay.
only be done through actions, right?
No, no, anytime. Yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think
So,
we are more thoughtful, and and when it is aligned with our values also, then it brings another level of effectiveness to that.
yes, 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 yes. Today, if you go back looking at many stories, many autobiographies, and many segments, you find, every brand has a story, a leadership story. But many a times we fail to discover that. If you take up, say, as okay, another example, after Tata, now you take Apple. Every brand has a type of leadership which they, show up. In many organizations, it must be servant service driven leadership, but in many it will be servant leadership. But in many it will be different kinds of leadership which organization take forth from there. It's about identifying, appreciating, and rewarding them for that, or recognizing that work. That's where the leadership begins. Even as I think you must have come across through this Instagram reel where a horse is standing in the lane and one small girl walks towards the horse, takes hold of that rope and walks to the horse. There's no age, there's no height, there's nothing to define you being a leader. Yes. Hi Rajvan, thank you for joining in. You're on mute, Rajvan.
You can finish first, then later I will give you my
No,
thoughts.
actually, I'm already. I was quite done. It says that I was just giving different examples in different ways. That's what I was doing basically.
So basically, as
See,
a
the
leader,
thing is, uh, even if we start giving out too much, it's not gonna stay. So I just took very limited but impactful stories and put it as a session together. Yes, Rajbin, over to you.
so my comments about today's session was very very good. Every session, I have an instinct with consciously positive. Already, my mind is already in tune that every trainer here, including myself, gives a very very good session. Today's session was about growth mindset and leadership. Everybody should have the growth mindset. Should be open, and some some people call the naysayers. What the naysayers do, they will they will pull down a growth mindset to make pull down so much that it will become a fixed mindset. So to to go into to go into to go into the growth mindset after a setback will be a very difficult, but eventually, slowly but surely. Yes. So as a leader, we must be able to think out of the box, because if we have fixed mindset, our mind will be constantly. I do also sometimes. Uh, go into fixed mindset because yesterday my caregiver was off and my caregiver's niece was putting me down. So I went into a little bit of a fixed mindset. And today I told my caregiver what was happening. And by expressing the feeling, I feel lighter. Yeah. And I have been through a lot of grief because I lost a leader friend who's a leader who taught me a lot of life. The leader was from my my IOTIS club, and he had the growth mindset. He taught everyone to be happy and joyful as a leader and consistent. So, with that example, I am telling that Robin also taught me, his name was Robin. So, the late Mr. Robin taught me that um, growth, growth is essential, growth mindset is essential to mankind and essential to mankind and essential to leadership. That is what we are talking today about, and it's so inspiring. And he said also that a literal shift in your words also can alter a person's mood from fixed mindset, from growth mindset to fixed mindset, and from fixed mindset to growth mindset. So whatever words the person uses around us, not we ourselves. Of course, we ourselves have to be careful. But based on my caregiver's niece example, I think if she wants to be trained under me, she has to be like my caregiver who's 12 years looking after me and no complaints. And every time every time the caregiver goes off, I get the fixed mindset because the the assistant caregiver puts it that I'm always the fault. So the same thing as leadership. When one leader has fixed mindset, the other one cannot grow. So it's important to have growth mindset and carry on with life. Thank you very much. If you have anything to say, Shabana.
Thank you, Rajvin, for sharing. And I think it is a very good example of, you know, service-driven leadership that your caregiver also provides, and it shows up when she's not there. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the more longer you serve a person, you become like a leader, and she's become like a trainer to me, and consciously positive also.
Yeah.
It's like I can deliver my talks with my fingertips. I can write ebooks in with my fingertips. It's just a matter of peanuts, and versus the caregivers needs should learn because I'm talking about legacy here. If my parents are no longer here, let's say for example, I can't depend on my siblings, and therefore the caregiver and her niece will take care of me. And of course, I will have the support of trainers like you guys, because because actually consciously positive actually shows me a great example of growth mindset every day.
Awesome. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you will do it well
And
throughout.
I'm looking forward to my talk with Sushila.
Yeah.
Please give me the topic after this. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajvin, for sharing. And so, yeah, so that's what I would like everyone to, leave with that. What can you do to serve the other person? So that's the challenge for you. So, with that, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. I
Yeah.
will see you the next time.
Thank you so
I
much.
think see you next Monday. Every Monday there is a pattern
Yes.
for you to come.
Yeah, we look forward to see you on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darshan. Thank